So good morning, everyone, and a very, very warm welcome to yet another Empower Hour of 2023. I am Thankam Gomez. I am the ex-founder president of Associate Nurse Executives India. I will just pull up the presentation to just say a few things about. Okay, so this year we are going to concentrate on life. Life is learning ignited from errors. This is a commitment that we have given from 2021. Yes, 2021 we said we are committed to zero patient harm. We started with WHO patient safety curriculum. This idea of Empower actually came from advocacy committee of ANEI, headed by Dr. Bimla Kapoor and Dr. Usha Banerjee. And we took over, the central office took over, and then we the entire year on WHO patient safety curriculum, and we ended that last year with the mega quest. And before that, we had multiple different chapters, hosting different topics. So now we are focused on working around patient safety. So this year, this is thanks to the education committee who has collected 100 patient safety events from different ANEI members. So we thought of taking one event and discussing that so that, the students, the nurses, the in charges, the nursing administrators, they get to hear that, how the error can be prevented. So there's a saying, to err is human, but not to learn from that error is actually a crime, because each one of us cannot afford to harm a patient before I learn what to do, how to prevent it. So it will be really stupid of us if we don't learn from other mistakes. That's very, very important. So every month there will be one chapter hosting this event. So last January we started with the Haryana chapter, and this time we have the Karnataka chapter who is hosting this life. So let's get used to that word life, that is learning ignited from our errors, and it's so suited that we are trying to protect the lives of our patients. It is so apt, that acronym. So thanks to our national officials who have just come into office in I should be saying 2023, right? It is 20, I'm sorry.
23. Yes,
so
ma'am.
we have, Captain Ajita Nair, who is our president, Dr. Unmuna Borgohain, who is our vice president, Ms. Vinci Tribhuvan, who is our secretary, and Lieutenant Dr. Raji KL, who is our treasurer. So thank you so much to the officials for continuing this journey of Empower Hour. I am very honored to be the Sutradar for this, continuing to be the Sutradar. I'm extremely happy. And a very, very warm welcome to our Karnataka chapter. So today's discussion is going to be deliberated by Lata Nonis, who is the president of the Karnataka chapter, and she's the chief nursing officer, Fortis Hospital, BG Road, Bangalore, Karnataka. And I don't need to repeat Karnataka because it's the same chapter. Then we have Shaini Varghese, who is the vice president of Karnataka chapter. She's the head of nursing at Manipal Hospital, Bangalore, Whitefield. Then we have Shanti Rani, who's a member of our Karnataka chapter. She's the CNO at Aster RV Hospital, Bangalore. Then we have Shakuntala D. She's also a member of our association. She's the Operation Theatre Manager, Corporate, HCG. Then we have our lone warrior, Karthik, who is the member of Karnataka chapter, nurse manager, Aster RV Hospital. Thank you to each one of you. And the safety event this time is about identification error in the OT. And that is the case study that our team members are going to discuss. I will pull this up in a minute so that, when they start discussing, I can get this up, and I'm just going to facilitate sharing the presentation. And thank you so much. And I would like to know if any of our officials are here so that I can invite them to say just a few words around this Empower Hour. Do we have anyone here? Yeah, Ajita is there. Thank you so much, Ajita. So your take on.
Good morning to you, ma'am, and good morning, everybody. Very, very happy to see Lata, Shanti, Shaini, Karthik, Shakundala, and all. And Bangalore Baptist, I hope somebody is there. I know a lot of people out there too. So very good morning to all of you, and congratulations to Karnataka Chapter for hosting this.
Thank you, ma'am.
As Tanga ma'am has explained, this has been our journey into second year of hosting Empower Hour, and this is truly meant for empowering the nurses, and unless and until we have the knowledge and which connects to our daily practice, whereby our higher centers in the brain should work on time for each nurse to save each patient. So this is truly empowering the nurses to have these experiences being shared. And our endeavor should be to take this to every single nurse in the country. So we should be on that mission where, I can see 114 people in this. But what I sincerely wish is to, take this to every member of ANEI, and not only ANEI, every nurse in the country, so that preventable errors do not happen to patients because of our human fault. So it's a huge task, and we are on to this mission, and request all of your wholehearted participation in this, not only presenting today, but it is a life mission for all of us, and add more people into this fight against preventable harm, where we make people alert, bring a lot of people into our net, so that our patients are safe. Wish you all the best, and thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Ajita, and all the best to the Karnataka Chapter. Just wanted to add a thought also, that we should spread this to all the nursing colleges so that they can attend along with the students, because they are the ones who should be prepped also, that these are the dangers that can happen. And a small shortcut, just 1 second shortcut, can mean life and death to a patient. So that's why these events, we are not able to discuss 100 events, but we are just selecting and going to discuss 10 events, and they are very, very profound events. And today's event is a near miss. So now I hand over the session to Lata and team. Over to you, Lata.
Thank you, ma'am. So can I have that slide, ma'am, so I can read up this?
I'll just bring it.
Yes.
Yep.
So thank you, Tanga ma'am, for that thought-provoking introduction and waking up the responsibilities to each one of us towards patient safety. And also very warm welcome to all the participants to this session. And thank you, Ajita ma'am, for giving us the boost up dose today morning. So that was really nice. Yes. So very good morning to all. I just would like to read up the case study of today. That is, a patient named Mr. X Kumar was posted for K-wiring surgery, and the patient took a chlorhexidine bath on the day of surgery and was kept NPO with an ID band on the wrist. The assigned staff nurse administered morning medication. Consent was taken and signed by the patient, patient relatives, and the consultant. And the pre-op checklist was filled. The OT staff took handover from the assigned staff, and the patient was transferred to the OT pre-op area. The patient was kept waiting for approximately 25 minutes before shifting the patient to the OT table. During the timeout, it was noted that the patient had a wrong ID band. The first name was the same, but the last name, surname, ID number was different. The whole process was stopped, and Mr. X Kumar and Mr. X Jain were two patients in the same unit and assigned to the same nurse, and both were posted for surgery on the same day. But the procedure were different. The patients was initially upset and furious. However, his trust was regained after an apology and explanation. So this is the scenario what we are going to discuss. Now, I'm sure that all of you would have read through along with me the case, and you would have understood where we have gone wrong. So we are taking up this session to understand how important is patient safety. So even in this case study, we can see how importantly we have to follow the right identification of the patient. And here, patient was furious. However, we could regain the trust with the help of clinician and have been along with the management. So just we can imagine that this could have been an unimaginable disaster for the organization, and it would have been a massive error. The error would not have been not only for one person, it would have been for two patients. So this time it's a very near miss, and we were too lucky. It has not reached to a disaster to the patient. So now I have my team to understand the scenario in detail and to evaluate, analyze the gap. And here I would like to introduce, I myself will be taking the role as a nursing director, Mr. Karthik, who is the ward staff nurse who shifted the patient, and Ms. Shakuntala, who is the OT staff nurse, and Shanti Rani is the quality manager nursing, and Shiny as the CNO. So very good morning team, Karnataka team. Can we deep dive and understand the reason why and where we have gone wrong? Can I get the perspective and request Shiny to lead the discussion?
Ma'am, Karthik here, assigned staff nurse. I just wanted to say sorry first of all. Why? Because I'm not seeing the patient ID band before shifting the patient to OT. Ma'am, it's completely my mistake.
Please wait, Karthik. Can we revisit the whole incident step by step? You be relaxed and take this as a learning opportunity. Together, we shall understand the gap. Together, we shall analyze and understand the gap. Is that okay, Karthik? See,
Yes.
we have to do this to understand the root cause and learn from the error. In case if you have a process failure, we have to look that up and fix that too. So please be calm and think this is an opportunity to learn. Yes, now let me know, when did you shift the patient and to whom did you give handover and how did you give the handover? Karthik?
Yeah, ma'am. It's actually this incident was happened in my morning duty. As soon as I entered to the department and I took over the patient assignment. At the time, I got a call from OT to shift the patient for a procedure. So I called my transport team and shifted the patient to OT, and I have handed over to the patient to recovery nurse Ms. Shakuntala along with the patient and patient folder.
Okay, but did you read out the name? Read out the full name?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Shakuntala, can you tell me how did you receive the patient?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I received the patient and shifted to the pre-op area. Actually, ma'am, me and even Dr. Bhaskar took over the patient.
Oh, Shakuntala, Dr. Bhaskar also was present there?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, actually, but he was talking another surgeon. So I completely checked the details, took over and wheeled the patient to pre-op area. Later, when we were doing the timeout, we realized that it was wrong patient who was brought. Even it was for different procedure, ma'am, even though surgeon was the same. My sincere apologies for me, this ma'am, for not seeing the ID band correctly before taking over the patient.
Okay, Shakuntala. Okay, do you know how many international patient safety goals are there?
Yes, ma'am, I knew that. There are 6 IPSG goals.
Okay, so could you please tell me that where you went wrong in this incident?
Yes, ma'am, I can. IPSC first one is identify the right patient. I should have checked for the ID band and I should have involved the patient while asking the complete name. And also, ma'am, should I ask the Kartik to check the UHD from the case file? And also, I would have involved or waited for the doctor to finish his conversation with other surgeon and involved him. Madam, I'm very, very sorry for the inconvenience that I have caused.
Okay, relax, Shaguntala. I can understand that because of very busy schedule, you would have very hurry to shift the patients. I can understand. But always think that patient safety is very important. Okay. What I try to say is here, not only the patient identification you have missed, even IPSG goal number 2, effective communication, there also we have missed. Okay. And you know that during handing over time, how you need to give a handing over. Are you aware?
Yes, ma'am, I have read of it.
Yes. See, now I would like to bring to your notice that one more IPSG also compromised. Do you know which is that?
Yes, ma'am, I knew that. Ma'am, that is IPSC 4 is ensure correct site, correct procedure, correct patient for surgery, ma'am.
Okay. Now, I know it is good. The discussion is progressing very good, and I am really happy that you guys are, knowing things right now. Shanti, can we jot down all these points for the actionable?
Yes, ma'am. We have many near misses from this incident. Rather than a Swiss model, a series of problems identified before the patient harm could happen. We were really very lucky that it is not reached to the patient. It is near miss. First of all, even the morning nurse given a pre-medication to the patient. I have a doubt whether she followed all the patient's medication right before she would have given a pre-medication. And also whether she followed the identification of patient process. Then again, Karthik could have taken over at bedside by checking patient ID band. This is a second problem. Third one, the doctor has taken a consent from the patient. So that time the ID band would have been checked. It is missed. Again, the fourth option, in OT while receiving, Saguntala also would have been checked. Even she missed it. But I really highly appreciate Shaguntala that she's very honest and a very courageous person that she brought this near miss error immediately to our notice. She raised herself incident report and she makes sure that it is escalated immediately to the right people, make sure that this is not going to repeat it again. So I appreciate you, Shakuntala, in this near miss error.
Thank you so much for your kind words, ma'am. Actually, ma'am, you know that during the timeout, we realized that it is the wrong patient and wrong procedure. All become panic and furious. But I realized the mistake immediately, apologized to the team and took the doctor along with me and explained to the relatives. Even though, ma'am, they were very furious, could convince them and gain the trust by accepting the mistake and apologizing. Ma'am, it is made me so saved.
That was the right thing that you have done, Shakuntala. Good job. In summing up, I wish to tell you that there was an element of negligence, or maybe it is an overconfidence, we're seen throughout. So my request to Karthik and Shakuntala is that to remember the safety mantra. What is it? Do no harm. Yes, do no harm. As our patients are already in pain, they're suffering. Let us not be the ones who are adding to the suffering, to their miseries. Secondly, follow the SOPs wholeheartedly. Never take a shortcut. Never ever take a shortcut to the patient safety checklist and patient safety goals. Shanti, please strengthen the process audit to understand the gap in patient identification and hands-off communication. You can take Karthik and Shakuntala along with you to your team to conduct your audit. Request you to send the team to the IPSG session where I will be present too. And let us continue to sensitize our team on the patient safety goal. It is to be done not once or twice. It has to be going on, keeping on repeating and sensitizing our team about the importance of this. And it would be a good idea to prepare a fishbone diagram to present to the in charges. We have just escaped a big disaster. Thank God.
Lata, you are muted. Just click on the mic icon. It's crossed. Just click on that. It will become uncrossed.
Sorry, ma'am. Sorry to all. Okay. Yes, the learning, yes, as Shiny have told, yes, just we have, it would have been a big disaster for us, for the organization, and all of us would have had no sleep. So the learnings from these sessions, what I felt is, I just would like to summarize, okay? Should never be a shortcut in patient safety. All of us may have to practice that. Shiny and Shanti, please ensure that the team is practicing no shortcuts. And second one is always follow the right identification. Even though sometimes what happened, our staffs may be taken the patient past 2 days, and the next day when they come, they have an overconfidence, or we may be trusting that, yes, we have the same patient, but the ID band would have been removed and put. So please have a look at it. The staff would never take shortcuts in this. So always check the UHID and the full name to match it up with the case file. And third one is, it is most importantly, we may have to understand the medication rights. Even in the medication rights, the first point is right patient. So it is my request to Shanti and Shiny, when the audit of medication administration is happening, please make sure that all the staffs are doing the medication rights, identifying the right patient appropriately. The next point is effective communication. So as Shanti has mentioned, we have IPSG2 is also compromised over here. So we may have to emphasize onto the staff while taking over, they should take the physical handing over along with the ID band. So make sure that, ensure that they check the ID band appropriately for the right name and the UHID. And it is not only the first name, we may have to take the full name of the patient. Yeah. And while handing over, ensure the ISBAR tool is used to hand over. The next point, what I jotted down was adherence to surgical safety checklist, which has saved us here. So Shanti, it is my request to you that along with, hello?
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you,
Okay.
ma'am.
Along with Shakuntala, please ensure that there is an audit to be conducted. Are they doing, when they are receiving the patient, please make sure that they do the right identification. So when there are patients with like a sound alike and a spell alike patients are reaching to OT, they should be very, very careful. So next point, what we have to look into is when there are patients sound alike and spell alike, like Tanga ma'am was mentioning, SASA patients in the ward, we have to be very alert, like X Kumar and X Jane, where UHID is never used. So here again, emphasize that to identifier, that is full name and UHID have to be used at all the time. And also inform the team lead or the in charges not to assign sound alike or spell alike patients to the same nurse. So please do monitoring of this for a week and prepare a report how our nurses are doing. Next safety measure, what I felt was we can have a name alert stickers. Some of the hospitals are using a name alert stickers, and Shanti, please do work around this and understand, can we get a safety sticker?
Sure, madam.
As early as possible. So once the patient comes with the same name, the system can give you an alert, and as well as we can have a sticker pasted on the case file. It may not be a very good idea that we can put a sticker onto the patient identification, but we can think of a separate identifier itself. So please work on that. It's like, I hope that you have got it. It is like a look-alike, sound-alike drug sticker, no? What we are
Yes.
getting.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sure that we can do this. I think that, correct? So
Sure,
please
ma'am.
to train the nurses, and when you're training, each one of you, when you are doing the training, please do make sure that the attendance is ready. So we know that whom all we have trained. Next point, what I understood was bring awareness in all nurses. This is the kind of errors in and around us. So never a nurse can tell that, yes, the mistake has happened because we were busy. So the busy word should never come in our profession. It is rather better than busy. We can use the word as we are not organized well. So ensure and teach the staffs to organize well. So I think that we can bring these processes that the TL or the in-charge nurse can counter check before shifting the patient to OT. That processes also we can bring it. So I hope that Shanti can have a very good fishbone with all these things where we can take a classes sessions to the in-charges, lot of points. And make sure the sign in the timeout form is happening properly, appropriately. Ask the patient to state his name, okay, and surgeon's name and surgery laterality, and also ask the patient that did he or she sign the consent. This is for you, Shakuntala. You have to make sure that these things are happening inside the OT.
Yes, ma'am. I
Okay.
really do that. Yes.
Yes, and understand that is the patient was involved in the consent taking, and also make sure even whenever you are taking over, the anesthetist also to be present over there and ensure that without them, do not take over the patients. The process, as we learned, we should never have a shortcut.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
We'll do that.
so
Yes, ma'am.
again, Shanti, there is a lot more work for you coming up. You have
Yes,
to
ma'am.
do an audit along with Shakuntala for this process also, and do the analysis and strengthen the process in OT area.
Definitely, ma'am, we'll do. Thank you so much for all
And
your
yes.
points, ma'am. I'll work along with Shakuntala, ma'am.
Yes. Over than that, I feel that we are most of the time we have SOP sessions. So do not encourage the people to be a part of the SOP. And SOP should be like safeguarding the organization, safeguarding the patients, and also it protect each one of us. So ensure that all the staffs attend the SOP session in a right manner and with a lot of concentration. Okay. So now we have learned a lot from this incident and had an enlightening discussion. I think Shaini and Shanti and both of you will be agreeing that we had an enlightening discussion around this, and we found a lot of gaps. I think we have to fix that now. Now
Yes,
let
absolutely.
us spread now let us spread the learning across the teams, especially even while handing over to tighten the situations. That is what we may have to do. Shanti,
Yes.
while taking while taking the learning sessions, please do make sure that the attendance is mandatory for me. Okay. So hope Shakuntala and Karthik have understood the depth of the error. Correct?
Thank you so much, Lata ma'am, Shaini ma'am, and Shanti ma'am, for making my fear down. I was so scared to escalate, but still, I felt in view of the patient safety, I should report and raise incident, which I did, ma'am. You have really understood the workload of nurses at bedside daytime. I really learned lesson out of my error, ma'am. Thanking you for making the issue light and make more confidence of reporting rather than hiding. Once again, thank you all of your kind words, ma'am, and kind support.
And Karthik here, ma'am. And first of all, again, once again, I would like to apologize for my mistake, what I have done today. And I accept my, consequence of my actions. And I assure that I never ever make these mistakes again. It's my lifetime lesson for me. And thank you, ma'am, for all of you. You have helped me to learn things from my mistake. You are not only helped me, also you helped all the Kartiks do not make this mistake in future. Once again, thank you to all.
That's wonderful, Karthik. And see here, near misses are a big catch where we could learn from it so that we can prevent such happenings again. Learning from the error is what is important. So to prevent the preventable harm, I think we must all take an oath, right? Thank you.
Yes, we
Thank
have to. So thank you, team. Thank you, Karnataka ANEI team, for a fruitful discussion. And Ma'am Thankam, now we will hand over to Ma'am Thankam.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Lata, Shiny, Shanti, Shakuntala, Karthik. Thank you so much. It was a great discussion. So I'm going to actually add or summarize what you discussed so you can, so that the team can kind of hear. So what I heard from your discussion was that, number one, we should never ever take shortcuts. Correct?
Yes.
We should never ever take shortcuts because you never know when you are going to be distracted. So here, maybe, Shakuntala was very courageous to escalate. And that is the responsibility of any nurse, that when they see anything that is not going right, even if it has not harmed the patient, escalate it so that a discussion like this can happen in every hospital. And then together you can plan for something that can be done so that the other nurses don't get.
Excuse me.
May I request everyone to mute themselves, please? Sunita?
இல்ல இல்ல பிரபா இங்க பாரு
Hello guys, please mute yourself. Thank you. If you are here to learn from this session, please be present. Please don't try to multitask. Exactly what we are doing now. When you are supposed to identify the patient, we must identify the patient. Don't multitask. Just now, like what we heard, they're trying to listen and they're also trying to manage something else. It doesn't work. Sorry, friends, to say this. Patient safety is not about that. Patient safety is focusing on what you are doing. When you are with the patient, focus on what you're doing at that particular time. Don't get distracted because it can cost a patient his limb, his one body part, or even in his life. So obviously we don't want to carry that burden with us. No? We are playing with life and death, my dear friends, and all the students who are here also. You are getting prepared to look after people. Can you imagine every patient, whether he's a CEO or a king or a queen or gets admitted, they become a patient. You cannot treat a queen. A queen who has appendicitis will only need appendectomy. Cannot do something else for that patient, right? Because our body, our systems are same. So we are actually getting prepared to do something very serious, healing the sick. And nurses being the largest caregivers, and we are the frontliners, we are right there. So we can become the safety champions. Like someone else told, become the safety soldiers. Soldiers are the people who are right in front when there is a war, right? Protecting the country. We are also soldiers. We should also take pride in protecting our patients. And that is why all these series are discussing a particular event. So I'm just going to summarize what I heard from you is that, of course, apart from having SOPs, the process needs to be examined. Every time the process needs to be examined. So I will tell you a story. Long time ago when I was in Fortis, I tell the story over and over again. And I went for rounds. I had this habit of checking ID band, just like that. I will check ID band. So I saw one ID band. ID band was there, but there was no information. It has already gone away. Patient's name and UHID. So I asked the patient that, did anyone check this ID band yesterday, today? So he said, oh, yesterday morning I went for bath. Oh, tab ye nikal gaya tha, matlab. Nothing is there. So that means almost 2 days passed. Multiple nurses have given medication. They have done procedures. They have done everything. But ID band was not used. It's a very clear proof, correct? So now it is very important to understand, it's very nice to know IPSGs. It is very nice to know that you have to check the problem is we always use the language, check the ID band. That is not the only thing you have to do. So I'm going to invite Karthik to be my patient. I'm going to do a little role play virtual so that everybody, kind of gets it and way we have to treat. May I ask everyone to mute yourself? Please respect others. Pauline. Arpita, can I request you to quickly mute people who are unmuting themselves? Pauline, please mute yourself. Even after I mute, they are immediately unmuting. This is really sad. Huh? Please don't do this. Okay, Karthik. So let's imagine that you are patient. Can I use your name? Your own name? Can I use? Okay. So Karthik is, imagine that you have an ID band. Okay. Imagine that I'm going to take you to the OT. So please humor me with this role play so that you can see in your mind. Okay. Let's say that okay, let's change Karthik's name to X Kumar only. Okay. So X Kumar is going for a particular surgery. I'm the assigned nurse, so like Karthik's place I am taking. So I'm going to now do his, let's come to the point that maybe he had a wrong ID band from yesterday. But now I am going to now take him to the OT. I have been told by in charge, okay, Thankam, please take Mr. Kumar to the OT. There is a call that has come from OT. Let's say that he is having a wrong ID band. Let's imagine that he has the ID band of X Jain, not X Kumar, X Jain. But he is X Kumar. I hope you are all with me. All of you are with me. Great. So I'm going to take now X Kumar to OT. So I go in and I'll say, may I come in? Say yes. Karthik, say come in.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Role play. Say come in.
Yes, ma'am, come in.
I'm not ma'am. Okay.
Okay.
Hello, sir. Good morning. My name is Thankam. I'm your assigned nurse. And I'm sure that you are going for surgery today. So I need to take you to the operation theater. But before that, let me verify that I have the right person. So, sir, can you please state your full name?
Yeah. My name is Mr. Karthik Challappan.
No, S. Kumar, the patient's
Yes, Kumar.
name.
Okay, ma'am. I'll name
Can you please state your full name?
mine.
Sir,
Yeah,
can you please give me your full name?
Jain Kumar.
Jain Kumar. Okay. Sir, very good. Thank you very much. So I'm going to check your name in the file. I have the same file. Now I need to verify with your ID band. So can you please show me your hand? Great, sir. So I have Jain Kumar. And your UHID is 86598. I'm so sorry. It seems like a wrong ID band on your hand. Maybe you did not pay attention, sir. Maybe you did not pay attention. I think you have the ID band. I'm really sorry. But I have the right file here. Just give me a minute. I need to now get your entire ID band changed after confirming this is what it is. So I'm really sorry for the inconvenience. And also I would like to request you to remember, sir, this ID band that is given to you is your protection. It is a safety bracelet for you. So anytime anybody, nurse, doctor, technician, anyone wants to do any procedure or they want to take you for a test or anything, please ensure that they are confirming your identification with the bracelet, because I'd like to explain to you why. Because we have another patient with a similar name. Unfortunately, you got the ID band of that patient. And I am very, very glad that, we were able to pick it up right now. So I'm really sorry. Let me go and get the right ID band. So does it look like a thing that every nurse should do? Isn't it? I think most of the time what happens, we assume, like Lata was telling, that this is my patient. So you're taking it for granted. Maybe Mr. Kumar got all the right medicines and everything because nobody bothered to look at the ID. They took the right file. He was just plain lucky. So no harm came to him, right? So I am just telling all the people sitting here, all the nurses and all the students, it is really not worth risking taking shortcuts. There is nothing called, I know this patient. Always assume I need to do this check before medications, before all kinds of procedures, before shifting or transferring any patient, and during shift handover. Every junction, there is a need to confirm that you have the right file, you have the right patient, you have the right treatment. So you have to give the right thing to the right patient. How will you know? So if there are two patients which are looking similar. So let me go back to the story. Yeah? So when I went for rounds, so thank you so much, Karthik, for participating in the role play. Thank you very much. It was not planned. It happened all of a sudden. So Karthik is telling, ma'am never told me that I'm going to be called for a role play. Okay, no worries. The thought process just came to me. I think we should use the opportunity extremely well, because we have 226 and plus more people who are sitting in the auditorium who are safety soldiers. We really want to equip the soldiers with the right armor or the right rifle or the bullet. For us, the bullet, the rifles and everything are right procedure, right process, and not taking shots. That is our armor. Make sure. Hello, can you please mute yourself? This is really, am I requesting all that if you are serious about, about this patient safety, please do not disturb the session. There are so many people sitting here concerned. How can they protect their patients? Respect them. If you don't, please don't multitask. Don't do 2-3 things at this time. 1 hour we are spending to discuss an event and to learn from that event, so that tomorrow you, your team, your students, everybody can be safe, because it's not worth it, my dear friends, to harm a patient. It's really not worth it. After that, I'm very sure that there is something called a second victim. So we know that we can make mistakes. We are humans. So that is why such sensitization and such discussions are important, so that we can protect ourselves from making a mistake by mistake. I am sure none of us will wake up in the morning and say, oh, today I'm going to send a wrong patient to the OT. No, nobody will say today I'm going to make a medication error. We don't want to do it. It is just that we just take things for granted. I do this every day, so maybe it won't happen. It's not worth it. Identifying the patient 2, 3, 4 times, it is always. Arpita, can you please mute these people very quickly? Please help me by doing that.
Yes,
Just open the participants, click on the participants. You will see on the right hand side, you will all see all the participants, and against the name, you will see who is unmuting themselves. And from there, you can quickly mute. Looking at the screen will be very difficult.
sure, ma'am.
Okay, that is new learning for you. Okay. So coming back to this round that I went, so I found this, smudged ID band. So obviously it was very obvious that all the people who looked after the patient had missed looking at the ID band. So I asked the patient that before giving you medication or anything, do they actually ask you to state your name? Then he was smiling. Why? asking my name every time because that's what the patient thinks. No, why should he state his name so many times? Similarly, nurses also feel shy. I know the patient's name. How can I ask him to state his name? Another mental block here. So immediately I call my clinical instructors and educators. I ask them to do a prevalence audit. I'm very sure I'm not going to explain what is prevalence audit. I told them, go across the hospital, check every single ID band. Let's see that how many ID bands are correct and how many ID bands are legible. And you will not believe me. I was sitting in a fool's paradise thinking that my nurses are all doing the right thing. Because everybody will tell me, no, I don't think any in charge or any supervisor will ever tell me, ma'am, ID band nahi dekhte. You understand? So that day I realized, never leave any process without Lourdes Mary, please. I think one of these days I'm going to take a class on Zoom, how to manage also all this at the back end. Whoever, anybody interested to take it, to give a learner session, how to manage on a Zoom? Okay, I'll do that. Free, I'll do it free. No worries. Okay. So coming back to this. So in the prevalence audit, I don't remember exactly the percentage. We had a concerned percentage of patients who did not have ID band, who did not have legible ID bands. Fortunately, we didn't find any ID band which was wrong, okay, that day. So what happened, me as a nursing head, I put a process of doing this, such prevalence audit. When we think of prevalence audit, we always think HAPU prevalence audit, fall prevalence audit. Prevalence is just a word. You can take any process and check it anytime, which gives the nurse leaders an insight into what's exactly happening. Are they safe practices? Right? Lot of good things you all have, discussed. So my bit from my own experience is that be smart to plan for prevalence audit. You may plan in your head. So after that, it became a regular thing. There are two things that we started to audit. One was whether it's very easy, no need for a checklist. Go around, check all the ID bands, see if they are the right patients, if they are legible. If there is a gap, we can start having a dialogue with the nurses when you don't have. Now, the most important thing, which is actually a barrier, is not involving the patient. If the patient was involved in the process, he would have told him, right? So you should have the file, you should have the patient stating and the ID band. The matching should happen with the file and the information on the ID band. Usually we tend to say, check ID band, check ID band. What check ID band? So somebody is looking, oh, he has an ID band. Good pick, good idea. That can be a misunderstanding because the language is complete. The complete is compare the information on the patient's ID band with that of the patient's file. They should match because nobody in this country will ever remember their UHID. So I cannot ask my patient, okay, Mr. Kumar, can you now tell me your UHID? It's not possible. So I have to bring the hand, confirm this. So if you look at any videos on patient identification that happens in US, they ask the patient to tell them the security band, security number. Again, they confirm that all that information is correct on the file and the patient's ID band. There is no way you can identify a patient without holding his hand with a legible ID band, involving him or her and comparing the information here. Let me give you a guarantee to every single nurse sitting here, every single student sitting here. You take this as a mantra. Doesn't matter what is going to happen. I will do this every time before I give medication, before I take the patient anywhere, before I do the procedure. If you do this, I can give you guarantee you are going to be a fantastic safety soldier. And you become a safety champion and you will be showing role modeling to others. This is the way to do that. Don't feel shy to ask a patient, please state your name if he is conscious. If he's not conscious, obviously you have to match. Now, if you don't have an ID band which is right, it kind of indicates the entire process is wrong in that nursing department, correct? So usually when you see a near miss, when you see one lapse, it is like the tip of the iceberg. You just came to know that day that this error happened, but the entire iceberg is hidden. So now it is important for the nurse leaders to ensure that you are able to unearth this, iceberg, to know how big is your problem. Yes, it is very important. We cannot leave anything just like that. So I really like the Sasa takeaway for all of you. Like Lhasa, there is Sasa, sound alike, spell alike, patient. Now, very important, my last advice to all the nurse leaders sitting here, always look at the process, not the person. So in this discussion, Shakuntala and Karthik participated. There are some recent, insight where they say that the involved person should not get into a RCA, but it did not look like as though we are going to fix. In our country, it may be a good idea to be kind. And then, I saw that you made Shakuntala and Karthik feel safe and, it's okay to discuss, and Shakuntala was very proud that she was the Sutradhar in informing, and now many things are going to change. So actually, Karthik and Shakuntala specifically, because she reported, she should be now appreciated as a person who became the reason for looking at many processes. It's not one, not only the OT process, now the medication process, all the process where you need a patient identification can become now safer just because a nurse like Shakuntala in some hospital, they reported that this is going to happen. Shakuntala, they were all role playing, but we know in real life, Shakuntala as a OT nurse could have told, okay, the problem is anyway taken care, we apologize, patient is happy, now we keep quiet, we will not tell anyone. You are waiting for the next event to happen, and that time you may not be lucky. Yes, you might have operated on the wrong patient, wrong surgery, anything can go wrong. And my dear friends, it is really not worth it. Patient safety, for me, it is like a passion. I feel so sad that, we harmed a patient. By mistake, it can happen, but it happens because we were desiring to do a shortcut. We didn't want to follow the process. That is not fair. So it is very important sometimes also for all the nurse leaders and nurses and students sitting here, in case that you think that you have too many things on your mind. That is why in the hospital, there is a pre-op checklist which needs to be done by 2 nurses. Correct? Am I right, Lata and Shiny and all? Yes. So there is a pre-op checklist that needs to be signed by 2 nurses. Again, it should not become a customary signature. It's almost like your high alert medicine being, checked by 2 nurses. The assigned nurse will say, shall I go ahead? Can you come? You do, I will sign. So you do, I will sign is again a breakage of the entire safety procedure. If the 2 nurses went when Karthik was going to take the patient, suppose the team leader also went in, and both of them together doing the right way of identification, then there is one more filter. It is not why we are adding these layers of filter. It is like the Swiss cheese model. The final harm only happens when all the processes break down and the holes get aligned. So I always used to tell my nurses, the protocols and procedures are written not only to protect the patient, to protect the nurses themselves, so that you do the right procedure and stay safe as a nurse also. Otherwise, what will happen? There will be a meeting like this, and you may not be lucky to have leaders like Lata and Shiny all the time. So they will call and say, Karthik, I'm so fed up of you, huh? You know the protocol and you still did the mistake. Shakuntala, this is unbelievable, huh? How will you get a nurse into the OT with the wrong ID band? Everything is wrong, huh? Shanti, go fix all this, huh? Start training everyone. I don't want to hear this. such dialogue can also happen.
Yes, ma'am.
Let us not say that we are all saints. Huh? We are not all saints. But these sessions are designed so that we all learn. Each one of us learn. The nursing student, the nurses, the in charges, the supervisors, the nursing heads, the nursing directors, we all need to learn. It is high time that we need to admit that we goof up. But let us not goof up just because we are not careful. So all these sessions are designed to make you all become careful. So thank you so much, Lata, Shaini, Shakuntala, Karthik. A great discussion. And thank you for giving me an opportunity to add value. So look at the process. I really request all the nurse leaders, audit how your nurses are identifying the patient. Prevalence audit is very easy. So today itself, you should ask someone, go and check all the ID vans in the hospital. See, you have 300 patients. How many ID van? I totally agree with you, Shubhangi. Non-punitive culture should be emphasized. Yes, in this one, we did not hear Shakuntala, Shaini, or anyone, Shanti telling, we are going to ask Shakuntala write 1,000 times how to identify the patient. It doesn't work, Maybe what I can add is I call it as a positive discipline. My word for that is positive discipline. So I might say, okay, Shakuntala and Karthik is going to participate in all the training sessions along with Shanti. That is their punishment. Yes, I don't call it punishment. I call it as positive discipline. So sooner after they do 10 sessions, they become your champions. You can close your eyes and say, go and audit this. Check this process and come back. They know exactly the pain. Their patient was about to be harmed, but now this is happening. So Lata will call for a meeting, Shaini will call for a meeting, congratulating, Shakuntala for actually bringing the near miss to 4. Then more nurses will get motivated. Oh, I should also report, because nurses are the ones who see these unsafe practices, because we are around the patient all the time. So you will see whether it is a doctor or a nurse or a technician, anyone not doing the right thing. Maybe if you don't think that you can correct the person directly, go and report and say that I saw that this is unsafe practice. Maybe it's your own colleague, something not right. Please have the courage, you care for the patient. Correct? So fantastic discussion and great deliberation. So I think we do have some senior ANEI executive members sitting in the audience. I think we are very, very, very happy to see 226 and plus many more in the auditorium. Fantastic. And great going team, Karnataka. And we do have the next month's discussion going to be done by Jharkhand, chapter, and they are going to discuss about blood transfusion error. And there are very interesting events that have been shared. And it is worthwhile to come back here every month and listen to the discussions and take away something. I really hope each one of you are making some note, mental note, or an actual note to say this is something we are going to do. So, okay, thank you so much. Please, when you come inside, please come with your mic muted. That is the Zoom etiquette. Don't come with your mic open. It happens, no? That by mistake, then you start talking. Mistake can happen with me also, but please, we have a large audience, so let's not disturb. Okay. Now a call out to any senior EC members or anyone sitting here. Would you like to share your thoughts? We have few more minutes we can take, 5-10 minutes we can take for discussion. And if any one of you have any question, please, you can post it in the chat box, or you can, share. Yeah. Okay. Come on. Anyone? My EC members, anyone here would like to say something? Note of advice? Yes, Santhya, please.
Morning, ma'am. Very good morning, everybody. And first of all, at the outset, my congratulations and gratitude to the team Karnataka. Awesome. It was an out of box innovative presentation in the virtual platform to engage with the participants. And I truly appreciate. Probably this is one big message to everybody that yes, virtual platforms also can be innovative and engaging in many ways. So thank you very much for thinking and having this out of box demonstration, and this kit was really good. Second, the topic chosen was so close to our work, our roles, and our profiles. Reason, this is what we actually miss out. And, it included all the aspects of um, patient safety. It included the IPSGs, and it was probably, the way it was handled was you displaying your effort in designing it. So, friends, you will read and attend a lot of training sessions on IPSGs, on patient safety. You will also do the RCA of the scenarios and also implement the corrective and plan, preventive actions. What I observe this session as one of the efforts which staff nurses, team leaders, in charges, nursing heads can actually cumulatively, collectively design is how to make an impactful session, how to make an influencing session, the choice of words. And if you noticed, everybody was talking in a very poised manner. There was no hurry. There was no Rajdhani Express on the move. It was a very poised, compassionate, and of course, with the pitch modulation, they also mentioned, they expressed the concern and the emotion which was supposed to be in that situation, be it the head of nursing, be it the staff nurse, be it Karthik, be it Shanti, everybody. And that's what I land up, because these are the skills which are not taught in our colleges and schools, and in our daily run of life we do not read or practice onto this eventually come with practice or absorbing examples and scenarios from our environment, from our surroundings. So a big takeaway from the way the team has presented this entire session today, and I'm so proud that it is an ANEI team who did this. Good. Keep it up, and very well chosen. We really look forward to such enriching sessions. Thank you very much. And of course, Karnataka team, I think you really have to be complimented for a great attendance and the teamwork.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am, TG.
Thank
Thank
For
you.
being the catalyst and actually the forerunner for this Empower series. We run into our second year of Empower,
Thank you.
and it's
Thank you,
phenomenal.
Nitya.
Thank you,
so
ma'am.
much.
Thank you,
Thank you
everybody.
so much. I think the time is well spent, and Sandhya noting even the tone of the participants. That's really, really great, because I am part of the team. So maybe I'm just thinking, they're doing a fantastic job, right? And I think it's
Thank you, ma'am.
very important point Sandhya picked up is that, when you are doing a discussion with your team who is involved in a mistake, kindness is important. None of us have reached where we are without being in that place of a young nurse. We usually forget the path we traveled. That's what we should never forget that. So thank you so much, Sandhya, for that very, very important point that you noticed in the session. And ANEI is definitely committed to what we are, towards zero harm. And these sessions are being recorded, and they are available on our ANEI YouTube channel. And you want to contribute for such discussions and everything, please join. It's very easy to become a member and say that I want to be participating, your state chapter. So thank you, Karnataka team, for doing justice to this event. And I really hope that many hospitals will go ahead and try to look at their process if it is happening. Look at nurses, how they actually identify the patient. Do they ask the patient to state their name? And one easy way to ensure that this process goes right, I always say, audit the patient. Just create an audit where you are asking the patient. Ask the patient, do nurses ask you to state your name before giving medication? You will get the answer. Do they actually take your ID band and compare the information with the thing? And you will see that this one way of auditing will set everything right. Because you cannot be, spending years and years just to get this right, because this has to come right. There is no other option. We have to get our people identifying the patient correct. That is the basic safety need of a patient. We cannot give wrong treatment, wrong procedure, wrong diagnostic to a patient. It's just not acceptable, right? So it has to become a never event for all of us, that we don't identify a patient wrong. So maybe involve the patient, start auditing, talking to them. I consider that as the most powerful audit one can do, is talk to the patient to confirm things are going right. The other way, one more tip from my administration experience: make the people who are involved in an event, allow them to become the auditors. Let them go and talk to the patient. They will come to know, oh my God, it happened with me, but it can happen to many other patients, right? So you can use the nurses themselves to do the audit. Don't restrict yourself with seniors or supervisors and in charges only. Use the staff nurses also to go and do that. So when I was a nursing head, I think my nurses used to say, "Kuch gadbad ho gaya to zyada kaam milega ma'am se." So I call it as a positive discipline, because every action has a counteraction. There are consequences, right? I cannot just say, Karthik, okay, you did a mistake, I'm very kind to you, nothing to be done. No. Karthik will do something to ensure that he become totally aware of the gap, and he will become a champion to train more people. Does it sound like a good administrative, trick? Yes?
Yes, ma'am. Of course.
Yeah.
Great. So let me just pull up my presentation and thank the Karnataka team and all the people who are sitting here for committing to patient safety. Thank you very much. And next month, we are going to talk about blood transfusion mislabeling and what went wrong. So we look forward to seeing all of you in March, last Saturday. And thanks to the Karnataka team for doing a fantastic job. Thank you very much. And thanks to all our officials and gracing the occasion, Ajita taking time and coming here. So let's commit ourselves to life. Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Ourselves to life, and see you all in March.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for all the support. Thanks a lot.
Care.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Team Karnataka. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Thank you, Santya, ma'am. Thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Prajakta this side.
Ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Lata ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
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 Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
God bless. God bless.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Lata ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.